Hello, Cowboys Nation. Welcome back to the September 14th edition of the Richview Roundup. I am your host, Colton Richards. In this week's episode, we recap an incredible week of games, including football versus West Creek, high school's visit to Overton, and the Titans' home opener against the Rams. Let's recap this past week. On Monday, the Richview White Ladies soccer team won their match against Rossview 3-0, and the Richview Blue Ladies won against Kirkwood 3-2. During those matchups, Vivienne Terrebonne had 2 goals and Lizzie Dole had 1 goal. Also, the volleyball team played against Rossview. The varsity lost in 2 sets, 25-19 and 25-17, and the JV lost in 3 sets. Softball and varsity and JV won this past week also. The following stats are from teams that had their coaches send in information. On Tuesday, the middle school football team played at home versus West Creek, where they won 7-0. Cliff Pember had the game's lone touchdown on a 34-yard reception in the fourth quarter. Isaiah Ligon had 18 carries for 60 yards. Brody Wilkins went 5 for 11, passing for 59 yards and a touchdown pass. Defensively, William Hester had 2 tackles and a tackle for loss. Hester also had a blocked punt, and Brody Wilkins had an interception and 2 tackles. Dean Cole had 4 tackles, 3 of them were tackles for loss. Balin Harlow had 3 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Craig Jackson had 3 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Cliff Pember had 2 tackles and a tackle for loss. The JV football game ended in a draw. The JV Cowboys found themselves down 16-0 at halftime, but came back playing a tough second half to end up tying the game 16-all in an exciting finish. Alex Hines hit Tristan Clark on a long touchdown pass, and Eli Hicks added the 2-point conversion to tie the game just as time expired. Wednesday, the volleyball team traveled to Northeast. Varsity swept 25-17 and 25-7. The JV also won. Thursday, we had a win for both the JV and varsity softball teams. On Friday, our high school team, the Clarksville Wildcats, traveled to John Overton High. The final score was 35-14, with Clarksville coming out on top. Last Saturday, the middle school cross-country team traveled to McCracken County for the McCracken County Invitational. This race was a 4K. For the boys, the top times were 17 minutes 1 second for Ian Stone, 18 minutes 5 seconds for Cameron Kryzak, and 18 minutes 18 seconds for Mackay Craig. The girls' top times were 18 minutes 28 seconds for Maxine East, 18 minutes 52 seconds for Alexandria Coughlin, and 19 minutes 2 seconds for Lily Quintero. Today, the Titans had their home opener in Nashville versus the Rams. The final score was 33-19, with the Titans unfortunately losing that matchup, which drops them to 0-2. Looking ahead to the Cowboy calendar this week, we have volleyball Monday versus Kirkwood. We also have soccer, where Richview White plays Kirkwood Blue at Field 7 at Heritage Park at 6:30. On Tuesday, there is a football game at Northeast at 5:30, with a JV game immediately following after. Our softball team is also traveling to Northeast Middle School Tuesday night. Wednesday is the volleyball regular season finale at home against Rossview. Thursday, the softball team travels to West Creek at 6. On Friday, the high school football team has a home game against McGavick to wrap up the first half of the season. Saturday shows the cross-country team competing in the Montgomery County Championship. And on Sunday, the Titans play against the Colts in an AFC South Divisional game at 12 p.m. on CBS. Now it is time for my keys to victory, and tonight they will go to the football team for their game against Northeast. Key number 1, Always stay hydrated. Because of the incoming heat wave next week, all players should get plenty of liquids and rest. Not just the night before or the night of, but all this week. So drink your fluids, kids. It can save you in the long run. Key number 2, look back at last week's film and see what you can do better. It always helps to review the tape and correct any mistakes. And key number 3, always scout your competition. Richview played Northeast in a defensive duel for the county championship 2 years ago, and if history has taught us anything, it is this: defense wins championships. And that will do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you do not miss any new content. This has been a presentation of the Richview Roundup podcast, a CJR entertainment production. This show has been written, hosted, and produced by Colton Richards. Stay classy, Cowboys Nation.